All right, J-Bone, what were you guys working on during the off-season? What were the goals and what were the big check-off items?
Same stuff as always. You know, you always want more time. You always want to test more. But, yeah, really for us, we just got started a little bit late, just trying to finalize and change some sponsors around. And, yeah, so we were testing with Alex pretty early. Savachi, we actually started earlier than we should have because he wasn't contracted, but we were just trying to get ahead of the program because that was the plan to get him. So, yeah, we got him and then started racing, and then we had Jimmy and Freddie come on later. So really just always testing, riding the test track. Buddy's been out there helping the guys get prepared and hopefully show everybody that these guys are riding pretty good in Supercross. So, yeah, just putting a lot of work in really at the track, and then, you know, all the, you know, even if one little sponsor changes, you got to redo everything. So redoing tents and table covers and graphics, and yeah, it's always something to do.
A little bit of a bummer to start without your number one 450 guy.
Yeah, we were really excited about Savachi. Obviously, you know, it's better than what it sounded like, so he will be back during Supercross. He already got his pins out, so yeah, definitely going faster than what it could have been. So we'll just have to see how therapy goes and how fast he can get back. But we're excited. It's for sure he'll be ready by outdoor, and I know he'll be riding Supercross. So yeah, definitely a bummer though. I thought he was going to do really well. We were pumped. You know, we thought he'd come in here and be on the podium. So. And he was riding good enough to win races. And, you know, how he rode last year, you know, we were impressed. And I was actually happy that we were able to get a guy like that on our team this year. So we're still expecting big things when he's back.
Headed into 2020, you have a couple of really serious contenders under the tent here.
We are so excited. I mean, to lead Monster Cup the way that we did, off-season testing has gone absolutely outstanding. We've made progress with our bikes for both riders, and we're super excited about A1.
Was there anything in particular on the bikes that you guys were focusing on during the off-season?
No, normal stuff. You know, we wanted to make the bike better in the whoops. We wanted to turn better. We wanted to have more power. We wanted everything. We have a lot of our guys working hard, and we made progress in all those fronts. It's been great.
How's it going to work with Adam and Eli together? How's chemistry for those guys?
You know what? It's no problem. I mean, both of those guys are A1 guys. They know how to race, they know what they're there to do, and they're focusing on their business. And it's been great so far, I can tell you that.
Well, good luck this season.
Thank you very much.
How was the off-season for you guys, and what were you guys working on?
Well, I tell you, the off-season was really good. You know, I think both of our guys, Justin and Ken, had really good off-season. Justin's was a little different. He did a little more racing, going over to Australia to win another championship in the Australian Supercross Series. So that was good for him. I think, you know, coming into A1 here, he's already at round 7 or 8, I think, for the year. But anyways, no, it was good. You know, he's got the ball rolling, and I think Ken, we went down to Florida, did some testing with Ken. He came out to California. He got a lot of, you know, well-deserved time off, you know, for rest, and then got back to some hard training and testing. And you know, we did a lot of testing too with Trey Kennard during the off season. So I think we're in a really good place. We're ready to get this series underway.
I know Chase was talking about doing some 450 races during the season. Does his injury and, you know, switching from West Coast to East Coast, does that kind of affect how he'll get a shot at that this year?
Yeah, you know, our plan with Chase is long term. So, you know, I think for the short term right now, yeah, having that injury, it changes the plan up a little bit. I think that originally he wanted to try to contend for this West 250 championship again, and then maybe ride a couple East races on the 450. But right now that, you know, that plan's changed. So right now we're just we want him to get back healthy, get healed up, and we'll change the plan. And when he's ready, we'll get back riding.
It was nice to see Ken get that time off and get the rest that he kind of needed there.
Yeah, that was a well-deserved you know, rest. He needed some time off to just kind of recuperate. You know, he had a good solid season, I think, and needed some time to just kind of get back to you know, get back to where he needs to be. So I think he's feeling good now. He's done a lot of hard training. He's had some fun. You know, that's one of Ken's things, is trying to keep things fun. So I think everyone's in a good place right now, and the team's been working hard. So we're ready to go.
All right, Ian, I almost hate asking how the off-season went because I know how it went for one of your guys.
Yeah, it was bittersweet, actually. We had a great off-season with Coop, but Marvin, on the other hand, not so good. He actually ended up damaging the ligaments in his knee in a crash or actually not even in a crash. He over jumped a jump, and that was in late November, and he had to have surgery on his knee, so he's out. A bummer for us all, but at the same time, in sports, things like this happen, whether you're playing soccer or whatever you're doing.
People tend to rush immediately, hey, who's the replacement? But man, how do you find a replacement for Marv?
Exactly. Marvin and Coop last year were 1-2 in the championship at one point, and it would be really tough to find someone to replace Marvin, and especially at that late stage in the game to throw someone else in there. So luckily Red Bull and KTM decided that the best step forward is to put all our energy into Cooper and go from there and just see how things pan out.
Man, it was kind of a off-the-radar quiet season for Coop.
Really quiet. Even for us actually at the shop and everything, not too much changed, and we just try to tighten up a couple things that we felt like we could improve on last year, and it went pretty smoothly in the beginning, and so it was actually really quiet for all of us.
He comes into the season with a lot better notebook than he had at the beginning of last year also.
Absolutely. Last year we were just hoping to win one race, and he ended up winning the title. That was amazing. But this year the target is on his back, so we're going to just have to see how it goes as a team and just tackle it 1 week at a time.
The goals have changed quite a bit, huh?
Yeah. Everybody wants to, once you win once, you want to, okay, let's do it again. But it's not that simple. And I think the second time out is actually tougher. So we'll see. And we got some good competition all around from Husqvarna, Kawasaki, Honda, of course, Yamaha. It's gonna be serious. So we're ready to mix it up with them.
Ready to race.
Yeah, ready to race.
Good luck this season.
Thank you very much.
Test 1 2.
All right, next up is Bobby Hewitt over at Rockstar Husqvarna. Talk about the off season and how are the guys doing?
The off season has actually gone really well this year. It's been kind of easy for us because they're all out in Florida. Jason has obviously been training in California, but all the guys have been out in Florida, and we've been out there a couple of times testing, and they've been here a couple of times testing. Of course, everybody's here now, and we'll stay out here on the West Coast until Dallas or Tampa, until we go to Tampa. But no, it's gone. We don't have many bike changes this year, so that always helps when you have the same model and same everything. You kind of start where you left off last year, and we've made some changes, but all in all, everybody's healthy. Dean's the only one that's going to be coming in, a little behind the 8 ball, but I think he'll do well, and he'll just get stronger as the season goes along.
Yeah, I think Zach had a little tune-up during the off season also.
Yeah. He had a little hardware pulled out. I always forget that half of them got metal in them anyway, and so he had a little tune-up and had an issue with some kidney stones that he had to take care of, and but all in all, everybody's pretty good. The biggest fear you have this time of the year is one of them catching the flu or being under the weather, and it's been going around, so that's my biggest worry right now.
Yeah, but people want their selfies in the autograph line and get right up on them and all that.
Yeah, I was telling Sean when we were in line to get our credentials, of course, first day, everybody's Happy New Year, how you doing? And shook about 10,000 hands, and I was like, I gotta go wash my hands. I don't want to get sick. Normally I wear gloves.
Maybe you should chase a hand sanitizer sponsor.
If they're listening, we'd love to have you part of the team.
Good luck this season.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Michael, talk about the off season, what you guys are working on, what the goals were, and what you were trying to check off the list.
Just like every other team in here, you try and improve on the bike and, try and just get the guys through healthy. And, the main thing during the off season is just consistency with the guys and their training and their riding and, not having any injuries or setbacks. And so far so good. Obviously we've got to get through today. One last little ride session before tomorrow, but No, as far as everything else goes, we had a pretty good off season. Our bike didn't, we don't have a new model bike or anything like that. So it was nice and just to try and, make what we have a little bit better. And I think we're in a really, really good spot. I think KTM has supplied us with an amazing Supercross bike for this season. So I'm excited to see what the guys can do on it.
And Blake showed some flashes last year. We saw the win in Phoenix, and even Justin had some pretty good flashes of speed out there.
Yeah, I mean, especially for Blake. Obviously, he was really, really good at the start of the season last year, and then started getting that little illness. So we took a lot of time off, and he didn't start training and off-season stuff till November. So feel like we got that stuff in order, and he's back to being healthy again and happy. And for Justin, it was, I'm super proud of him. He's for the first time in his whole career, he was happy because he made a whole season and then now an off season. So he hasn't had to do that yet on a 450. So I think he's excited to have accomplished that. And last year he rode the bike literally 10 days before the first race. That was the first time he rode it. So now he has all his own settings and everything is dialed in just to how he wants it. So he seems like he's in a good place too. So as far as the off season go, it was nothing too exciting happened. It was just normal work and grind, and here we are. So like I said, get through today, knock on wood, get through press day, riding, and then see what we can do tomorrow.
Okay, just checking to see how your off season was, and I'm guessing it wasn't the easiest one.
No, my off season was not easy. The team's off season was not easy. It was extremely chaotic. We made a lot of changes internally to, we're just trying to get this thing back on track and get it where it needs to be.
And guys falling down, it kind of swapped up your coast a little bit, right?
Well, yeah, that's the most recent, that was the most recent issue. As December comes around, the pace always ramps up and, guys end up going down. Unfortunately, we had quite a few guys go down, so we've been shuffling back and forth the last couple weeks pretty heavily.
Yeah, I think Chase was destined for West Coast and ended up, or he'll be East now.
Yeah, that's Chase did his collarbone, so we were gonna put Jeremy West, and Jeremy actually volunteered himself to do it, but then he had a pretty big get off about a week and a half ago, so he just wasn't ready. So we're just gonna have to put a lot of guys on East.
And then also sounded like Hunter's hurt again.
Yeah, Hunter just had a big get off as well. So unfortunately, we're still waiting to hear on him. So
stupid gravity.
Yeah, serious. It's no good.
Well, who do we have for this week?
We have Jet Lawrence and Christian Craig. So I know Christian's particularly excited about racing with his FIM decision and all of the rulings that happened there. And then, of course, Jet, it's going to be exciting.